Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Amma ba'du. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli wa qul rabbi adkhilni mudkhala sidqin wa akhrijni mukhraja sidqin waj'al li min ladunka sultanan nasira. Bismillah wa billah wa tawakkaltu ala Allah. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Verse number 93, we recited fast. This verse is from chapter Al-Baqarah, second chapter of the Holy Book of Quran, and Allah is saying in this verse, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ خُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ وَاسْمَعُوا قَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا وَأُشْرِبُوا فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الْعِجْلَ بِكُفْرِهِمْ قُلْ بِئْسَ مَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ بِهِ إِيمَانُكُمْ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. As we have said, and we reiterate again this thing, that these brief interpretation and explanation of the Holy Book of Quran and the verses of it is for the purpose to explore the very premier depth of the book and not all depth of this grand book. And we try to just show and convey the message of Allah that is in these words that Allah has revealed to the last prophet. And these words are signs of the prophethood of the last prophet, and also in these words there are so many signs and proof of God Himself, Allah Himself, and these are called Ayat, means the signs and proofs. In verse number 93, it is related to the previous verse, as that was related to the one previous one and the ayat before. Here also Allah is putting some question, or He is telling them in the frame of questioning them, and in a statement of question, statement interrogative term, but actually telling them that they are not believers, and they just they claim that they are believer. Another sign of their not being believers is that وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا, remember, O Israelite, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ, we made a covenant with you. You gave a covenant and a treaty was made with you. And وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ, and that covenant was made by showing you a sign of God, another sign. Though there were so many signs and proofs, they were shown to them and they were presented so that they can believe and they don't have any reason to doubt. But again, while taking that last covenant and making it, another big sign of Allah was shown to them, and that was that this mountain Tur, mountain was raised upon their head or above their head. What was the situation? It is not clear and not told here, and so many have different views about that, how this mountain was raised above their head, or they were sitting in a valley and the mountain was near them, or something like that. Maybe so many ideas they give and vision are there, but we take it as Allah has said. Allah said that we raised that mountain above your head. وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ, it's above your head, above you, at-tur, that mountain. At-Tur means a mountain, a special mountain. What was that mountain? Which mountain? It is not clear and not said here. And that was just to have another sign of Allah. That be clear, this treaty which is being made now, it is also from Allah, and you should accept it and profess according to that. So that sign was given for this treaty. So that is a sign. It was not a threat or something that if you don't accept, we will just put this mountain above you and press you under that mountain. That is not meant, and there is no any gesture in Allah's word that it show something like that. The main thing that has come in the previous verses and also in the book all the time, that Allah shows and gives and presents his proofs and his signs so that no doubt remains there and nobody hesitate to believe. Allah is saying that وَإِذَا أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ, we took that covenant, وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ, and this is for reminding them. If you remind somebody something, you talk of another thing, an extra thing that happened simultaneously with that, so that he can remember that really that thing was, and that thing had happened at that time, because some other incident or accident was done or happened the same time simultaneously, so he can remember easily. This is the reason that Allah has brought this warafana fawqakum at-tur, that the time you remember that mountain was raised above you. So in this way they could remember that thing very easily. So what was said that time when it was taken, that covenant, خُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ, take what we give you, what we have brought for you, take it. بِقُوَّةٍ, with strength, with force, fast. Take it fast, not lose it, not to have a strong grip on that. And it means that practice it, take it into your conduct, make it your conduct, this covenant. Not that just have a grip or grab it or grasp it. That is not the meaning. It means that you have to be stuck to that very strongly and fast. Do not lose it, do not leave it, and do not go far from that, beyond that. وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ وَخُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ وَاسْمَعُوا, and listen to it. Listen to it, not just hear it. Listen to it means listen and understand it and keep it in your mind and evolve it in your mind and understand it clearly. Have it. So here Allah leaves them there alone. First Allah was talking to them. Now for a while Allah leaves them alone, and now Allah changes his tone towards us or towards the audience, and talking like this, Kalu, means putting them on the third party. First they were second, now keeping them as a third party and talking about them. First Allah was talking with them, to them, but now from this phrase Allah is starting to talk about them. Kalu, at that time they said, Samena wa Asaina. They said Samena, means the order was from Allah that Wasmau, listen to it, understand it, take it to your life, practice it in your life. And they said, okay, we understood, we will bring it to our life and we will follow the commitment that is done in that treaty. Then wa asayna, that is a confession from them that after understanding and taking it to practice for a while, maybe for a group of people, maybe some of them practice according to that, not most of them. And then وَأَسَيْنَ, and after a while they disobeyed it. They stopped to follow that. They ousted that covenant from their life and from their practices. وَأَسَيْنَا. And here, it does not mean that at the same time they said that we listened to it, we have understood it, and just the same time they said then, and we also neglected it, ignored it, and did not follow it, disobeyed it. It was not the case. In the order that is said here, maybe somebody thinks that vav is put here, and that is to connect the first thing with the second one to the first one, the previous one, but it does not mention the time span in between. Summa and fa, they have a time span in between, but vav can be used for where there is a time span in between and where there is no any time. So here, actually and naturally, there should be some time. They first confessed it, first they accepted it, and then after a while they negated it, they disobeyed it, and they went on the wrong way. And this thing is shown in the third phrase, which is also connected to that with vav, and that is وَأُشْرِبُ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الْإِجْلَ. And they were sunk, or they were given to drink what? Al-Ijl. Kaf was something that was given to them to drink, and they were sunk in that drink. Or the meaning is that when somebody disobeys Allah, He cursed him and He ousts him from His court, so that He leaves him for his own alone. And then he gets in the hand of Satan, and then Satan takes his steps and gives somebody anything to drink. And that is the love of that calf, the wanting, the desire to have some physical god, some idol, something that they should bow before him. That kind of love and that kind of desire and eagerness they were given in their heart, and their heart wanted it very eagerly to have some idol, something that they can bow before it, and they can offer their worship and offer their whatever the service that they wanted to offer. So Allah has said that وَأُشْرِبُ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الْإِجْلَ بِكُفْرِهِمْ, and that was done all only and only for their being unfaithful, because they were really not believer from inside. And for this Allah internalize to them a love for that calf and the love of worship to that calf. Allah here at the end gives a comment by the tongue of the Prophet, and tell to the Prophet, and now Allah changes his tone towards Prophet and says, Qul, O Prophet, you tell them, بِئْسَ مَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ بِإِيمَانُكُمْ. you had claimed that you are believer, you have faith, and that faith did not allow you to accept any other faith, and you are stronger in faith, but you said that your hearts are locked with that faith. So Allah is saying to Prophet, tell them, Be'sama ya'murukum bihi imanukum. What a wrong is that your faith orders you to that, to worship that calf or kill prophet or do wrong thing and practice evils and whatever the wrong and disobeying that you could, you did. So what a wrong thing is that this faith orders you and take you to that, in kuntum mu'minin, if you say you are the believer. So all this preparation of Allah and this reasoning and this giving these rationals and reasoning, all is to prove that these people, these Israelites of that time, they are not actually believers. They are just follower of their own will, and they are not follower of the words of Allah or the Prophet of Allah, and they are not believer. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah bless you all.